Welcome to English Practice Stories. Hi. So, I'm really confused, and I've been seeing a lot of in-laws who only address their children's spouses as daughter, son-in-law, even after they get married, as a sign of tasteful disrespect or total disregard for the fact that their child is with someone romantically. I've been with my husband since we were 18. We got married in October of 22 and are going on 2 years of marriage now. What I'm confused about is the fact that I initially thought my mother-in-law and I had gotten over our immense amount of issues and disagreements, and proper boundaries and understanding have been laid out without any room for misunderstandings, but I cannot get past the fact that she still calls me her daughter-in-law instead of her daughter-in-law. Or she will call me her grandchild's mother. And I'm just so confused. My father-in-law is a great guy. Usually, we have had one falling out, but he came forward and was the one to apologize, so we worked it out entirely and squashed that. For some reason or another, my mother-in-law has stuck to that since I started dating her son in early 2020. It's genuinely getting to a point where it's starting to piss me off. I have his last name, and I am the mother of our only child, but do I not deserve enough respect to be addressed properly when people introduce me to them? She could even just go, "Hey, this is Baking Mama, my son's wife." Yada yada. No. I'm just the daughter-in-law. And I've tried really hard to keep open lines of communication. I send photos and videos of my son frequently, and since they're 3,000 miles away, I've really done everything I can. If I didn't reach out first, my mother-in-law would never communicate with me directly. She'd just go to my husband to complain that I'm keeping her grandson away from her and keeping her out of his developmental milestones, because I don't post my son on social media besides the once-in-a-while rare occurrence. And on top of that, I'm left out of every single family photo besides one that I refused to step out of because it was a welcome home baby photo for my son. That photo she never posted on social media. Am I the issue? Or is my mother-in-law just being a fucking jerk like always? I will state for context that I usually don't get along with my mother-in-law for many things. At first, it was because she was trying to parent me at 18, basically saying I was a failure of an adult because I didn't apologize to my abusive family for going without contact. Or she would try to interject herself into my relationship, giving her opinions on arguments that neither my husband nor I told her about. She can just sense tension, and I need to just be quiet and not argue with my husband. Or calling me out of my name for stealing my husband because he wanted to spend time with me when returning from military basic training. We had very differing political views and opinions when her son and I first started dating, but I've done a lot of soul searching and come to another conclusion that isn't necessarily far from, but definitely different from what I used to believe. She tried to use my pregnancy as a show and tell for her youngest daughter, 12 at the time, having her come to ultrasounds. I made it very clear that was an absolute no from the get-go. Rubbing my belly. I don't like being touched, or feeling kicks. I don't like being touched. At most, I brought a Doppler to their house before I moved with my husband and let them all listen to the baby. She made bets on my child's gender. We were all wrong: his skin color, eye color, and hair color or type. I'm of mixed race, black, white, and Asian. She basically wanted my son to have none of my features, and she has even brought it up again recently. I don't see any curls. I guess he's a carbon copy of his dad. Ugh. She came to my house many days earlier than was expected and told me, "Get the house in order so we can stay a few nights before our Airbnb rental opens up." It caused my blood pressure to rise so much that I went to the hospital for preeclampsia and was induced, which led to my son's brain injury. Yes, I blame her because you don't show up with a phone call and an hour beforehand 3 days early. I may be the reason, but I don't think any of our disagreements or the boundaries I have set have been too crazy or out of line. At most, I can say I'd be crazy for screaming at my 12-year-old, at the time, sister-in-law for kissing my baby's face 2 days after he got out of the NICU for a month. This went on a lot longer than I thought it would have. Any thoughts? Opinions? Am I just a shy daughter-in-law? If you like our story, subscribe English Practice Stories channel and click the bell icon.